What's going on, YouTube? Thanks for coming and checking out another Fat Guy Builds. Today and the next couple videos will be spread out a little bit, but we're gonna do some work on this Roush Mustang here. In this video, we're gonna do control arms and some other suspension stuff that's kind of rotted out. And I'm gonna show you how to do it step by step. Here's the part numbers for the Camber bolts for the front. K90474, they're both the same. Here are the two control arms. You got a RK80727 and an 80726. Go ahead and lift the car up off the ground, take the front wheels off. That way we can get to all the parts we're exchanging. First thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna loosen the grip on the ball joint. You're gonna need an 18 on this side and a 15 on the other side just to hold it. I'm gonna use sockets, but I just did this so we could figure out the sizes. Then over here, we have an 18 as well. So we're gonna just break all this stuff loose first before we take it apart. Now these two bolts that hold this part of the control arm, they're both gonna be 21 millimeters. So you're gonna need, I can use a box wrench on this side, but the other side by the header, we're gonna have to use a socket, I think. But it's a 21. Do it however you want to do it. Use an 18 millimeter. Just loosen these, but leave them in. That just gives us a little flexibility. Now that everything's loose all the way around, I'm gonna remove both of these bolts, then remove this bolt all the way, and then last but not least, I'll remove this bolt here. So these control arm bolts here, they hit this steering boot here. So what we're gonna do is pop this nut off, and we should get enough movement out of here just to get this bolt on both sides, because it hits on both sides. Get these out. We probably only need, I don't know, about 1.5 inches worth of movement. Even if we can just push this up to get this to slide under, we're good. So undo these two on each side, and then we can move around the rack. To get these two bolts out for the steering rack, you have to get them from above on both sides. So you're gonna reach in this way, work the ratchet, same thing on this side, through in there. Okay, once you get those bolts out from the top, you can slide the rack, and now we have enough room to pry out our bolt here. Passenger side part number is a 80726. Driver's side part number is 80727. You want to put it in the reverse way that you pried it out. So in my case, you put this fat end in first, and then slowly twist it to get this one into here. And then the last part is getting the dicky-doo stuck into the hole over here. For all the bolts going to the control arm, I just did them like this one. I just hit it with 80 foot-pounds. It works fine. If you guys really care that much, go online. This one I hit with another 80 foot-pounds, worked good. These ones, unless you have a special tool, you're not getting in here with a torque wrench. So I just did it till I started twitching and I couldn't move them anymore. Those are tight. If you're a little person, get a big person to tighten these two for you, okay? Then, these ones here, sort of same thing. Have a ratchet with a box wrench on the end and just keep torquing on it until I can't torque anymore. Here's the part number for the outer tie rod ends. Just got the plain Duralast ones. You can get whatever brand you want. See, it's all tore up. Use an 18 millimeter here. Rip this off almost all the way to the top. Now I'm gonna bash it with a hammer. Use a 21 millimeter here to loosen this locking nut on the tie rod end. So you're gonna measure the tie rod from a known good point. So we're 6 inches almost exactly to the end here, and that's where we're going to spin on the new one. So when you're putting it back together, you're gonna measure from the same spot you measured the first time. And see, well, no, it's back. And then once you have the measurement, once this is all together, then you just grab it here in the middle and you spin it until this piece meets up with your mark on your tape measure. After spinning your inner rod to get your measurement correct, you're gonna lock down this 21 millimeter nut that locks this all together so it doesn't move again. And then you're gonna torque down this 18 here. I'm gonna just torque it to like 70 foot-pounds, be good enough. Remember, you need an alignment after you do this. Don't just start driving around. So we have the new bolt, the eccentric bolt to give us some camber, nut, other washer. So I'm gonna install it in the top one. You can install it in the top or the bottom one, or you could technically buy 2 of these, put it in the top and the bottom to get maximum amount of camber adjustment. But I'm gonna just knock this top one out and then slide this new bolt in. Loosen up the bottom bolt because you're gonna need everything to move when you're putting the top one in. So you got the washer here, sort of tongues in to the hole, and then what you're gonna do is spin this until this piece here goes as far as possible in, which will give you the most negative camber, which is like right about there. And then you're gonna hold this and torque this down. Don't forget to put your wheels back on either. Thanks everybody for checking out another Fat Guy Builds. Hopefully this saved you some time. It didn't save me any blood. I dripped all over the floor. Aggravation. So if you're not good with this stuff and you're trying to do this on the floor, I wouldn't. Rent a lift at your local hobby shop / local wherever, you know, or buy one. Don't be a cheap ass. And until next time, wrench on.